And you need to start looking at all of the products that they endorse, all of the things that they represent, that they, all of the sports, whatever team they represent, whatever product they are pushing. You need to start boycotting these products. You need to write letters. You need to write emails or whatever and let them know we're not going to buy these products that you're pushing anymore. Even if you're pushing something, you can be pushing dish detergent on this side over here, but the fact that you're pushing, the spread of HIV on this side, the fact that you're pushing, demonic tattoos on this side, the fact that you're pushing all of this consumerism on this side, we're going to go up against everything that you're pushing until you stop doing these things. The greed that black entertainers are pushing, it's time for black people in the community to actually say, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. If you're pushing greed, then we need to make sure that we're boycotting you. If you're pushing homosexuality to young children, we need to make sure we're boycotting you. If you're pushing, chasing women, womanizing, becoming alcoholics, becoming drug addicts, if you're pushing all of that stuff onto young children, we need to boycott everything that you are doing until you straighten up and fly right. So we have, of course, the Black Community Anti-Degradation Committee Network, and we actually track the black entertainers that are causing some of this dysfunction that you see. And we teach black communities, black families, black parents, and grandparents how to boycott all of the products we get. Put out a list of products that this particular rapper or this particular rap company or the entertainer is the things that they promote. We also put out a list of who owns that black person. You got the rap industry. Each of them have a white owner. I don't care how much they talk about what they got and the black record label that they built and whatnot. Each of them actually are owned by a white person. And so this white person kind of sits back as a shadow puppeteer and pays these black entities, these black companies and black rappers to do the things that whites used to do and can't do now without getting sued or whatnot. And so you have to shed light on these white owners, because if you got two black males in a ring beating each other to a pulp, or in this case, in the street, shooting each other like dogs down in the street, there's a white person that gave them the guns. There's a white person that gave them that have them selling the drugs. There's white police officers that are pitting them against each other. And you have to shed light on these shadow puppeteers that are in the background, causing all of this dysfunction, funding this dysfunction, and benefiting and profiting off of this black dysfunction. And so that's what we do. And this series, I think, caught a lot of people by surprise, even though it shouldn't if they never ever listen to the show. They know that if there's something going on in the black community, as the Fix It campaign, we're going to be on it. And so, this series of Restoring Honor really got people. In the beginning, they were kind of, still shouting and reciting the things they were programmed, the things that they were led to believe. But as the series progressed, you saw them actually getting a little bit more honest with themselves and a little bit more honest with each other in the group and saying, well, we haven't really overcome anything. We actually and in a lot of cases went backwards. And so, it took a lot for some of the house Negroes to admit that, because they were the ones paid the most to promote the fantasy, the fictitious notion that we were in a post-racial America and that blacks had achieved this equality. And they had to, admit, no, we still not equal. If anything, we're just higher paid house Negroes. We went from complete unpaid slavery to now we're super duper indentured servants. Whereas it doesn't matter if we make $1 million, because at the end of the year we've spent $1,200,000, and we owe $200,000 to our white owners, and we're paying huge amounts of interest on that life that we thought we had. And then as soon as we step out of line, even the slightest bit, i.e. Michael Vick, Tiger Woods, OJ, as soon as we step out of line, we are immediately taken into the town square and whipped, just like any other Negro slave or any other indentured servant. And if we step too far out of line, we are actually still strung up and hung. And it's done on a political basis now. It's done on more of a character basis now. But white folks, you think about how many things that Oprah has had to do to promote in her promotion of white supremacy and her promotion of black inferiority over the 20 years, 25 years that she's been doing this. I mean, she has been almost the poster child in the promotion of white people as being the best thing since sliced bread. And when you think of a character in, a Negro slave picture, you think of this person that doesn't consider themselves a slave because now they get paid by their white owners, and so they're wearing the fancy dresses, they're wearing the fancy hair, they're in the air-conditioned home. They have a big house right next to their owners, and so they don't feel like they're a slave. They don't feel like, what you would think of as a Negro slave. But they do, in the end, see, once we started this debate, this discussion, many of them did see where she is an indentured servant. Things that she may have wanted, children, for example, had to be put off and put off and put off because her white owners felt it wasn't time yet. And every time that she may have pushed too hard, either she was checked, and the whole we can break you, which always comes up if you step too far out of line, or the whole, well, we got this money-making thing and the dollar signs and the zeros are so big that, you're like, okay, well, maybe I can wait another year or another 2 years or another 5 years. And it becomes 10 years and 15, and next thing you know, you're hitting menopause. And the opportunity to have children has passed. And you can't get that time back. And you literally find that, while she may not be at the point yet to ready to admit it, but we, as a black community, saw Oprah prostitute herself to these white owners to the point where she had as as extravagant a life as she could want. She, the illusion of overcoming, but she faced the same things that many of the women today have to face.